Hello and welcome. Today it will be very fast because we have a very fast lens. The Voigtländer Nokton 50mm 1.0 Aspherical VM, which stands for Voigtländer M mount. A very interesting lens, very fast, designed for the Leica M issue, but also with a lot of adapters, working with mainly all cameras, which are mirrorless cameras. So like your Nikon Z, like the Canon R and M, like Sony E-line, the Fuji X mounts, the Micro Four Thirds stuff. So with adapters you can work with all the cameras, and you can even use it on a medium format camera, and how it covers the huge sensor, because it is usually built for the 35mm sensor, I will show you in a minute. The Voigtländer 1.0 50mm lens is a very interesting lens, and we had it covered a little bit in our live event, which we had 3 weeks ago here at YouTube. And I couldn't talk about this lens and had to really bite my tongue not to tell you about this lens, because it's such a fantastic lens, because it has a huge heritage. And so if we go back 70 years, yeah, in 1950, the first Nokton was born, and it's called, here in Germany we call it a Gauss-type. So it is this type of lens. Zeiss calls it Summar, with Leica it's called Summicron. So this is this type or engineered lens. It is called the Nokton. Very fast lens in these days, 1.5 50mm, and Voigtländer the 1.0 is actually the 11th 50mm lens in the actual program of Voigtländer. So quite a luxury to select from all these different lenses and all the different flavors. So they have a classic lens, 1.5 50mm, which is with the taste and with the mood of the 50s and 60s, and they have also some actual lenses, newly designed lenses with aspherical lenses, different colors, different coatings, single coated and multi coated. You can change about your flavor, so it's quite a cool range which Voigtländer has. But back to the lens we want to talk about today, because this is also the next step in quality. The 50mm 1.0 has a grinding aspherical lens. Not only the aspherical lens, which you have in the rear, but also in the front we have a grinding aspherical lens. And this was first used in the 0.8. You heard right, 0.8, which is the fastest serial lens these days. 0.8, 29mm for Micro Four Thirds. So this is totally new, because we can use new types of glass, because usually aspherical lenses are pressed, molded, and so you can't use glasses which needs very high temperature, because otherwise you would ruin your mold. With the grinding surf, you can use different glasses, so we have better quality, and I will show you in a minute some of the first results, just a little bit, because it's pre-production. But first let us get away with all the technical data. The lens, as you've seen it in the picture, 9 elements in 7 groups. We have 12 aperture blades, so very nice bokeh from the 12 aperture blades, very rounded, looks pretty nice. The minimum range is 0.9 meters, which is usually for such a lens which is designed for the rangefinder cameras. Rangefinder cameras, but it is also very important that it's a small lens, so only kind of 74 millimeters in diameter, 55 millimeter in length, because with a rangefinder lens, so you look through, that's why it's called a rangefinder, through the rangefinder, and you don't want to have a huge lens blocking your view, so it has to be very small, and Voigtländer did a good job in making it small here. And also the filter size is very nice, 62 millimeters, will keep your back very small, and the weight is also behind 1 pound, 484 grams, which is pretty nice for such a fast lens. The first results were really, really nice. What is very important for me is how the area where it's sharp looks, but also how it looks where it's not so sharp. The bokeh, how it looks and how it goes from sharp to not so sharp and to unsharp. Yeah? So this is how it has to look, and here are the first results. Very, very nice, wide open, and today you buy such a fast lens not only to shoot in very low light conditions, but you want to use it also in for your aesthetical view, for very shallow depth of field and for cool bokeh. And here you see it's very, very nice looking bokeh, and I will show you in a minute how it looks in the real life, because you have to have a kind of a character to a lens, and this has a very special character. And I want to show it here also how sharp the lens is. I magnified a little bit this very nice guitar, and here you see, hope the YouTube compression doesn't crush everything. Here you see the very small dust speckles here on the pick guard from the fingers. So really, really sharp in the middle, and here also it looks pretty nice how it goes from sharp to unsharp, though very, very nice. But one question is always asked, people are funny these days, because people want to adapt everything to everything. So for all the users of medium format cameras like the GFX, a 100 megapixel camera, I will show you how it covers the sensor. And the sensor here is much larger than the medium format, the 35 millimeters. Here we have 24 millimeters by 36 millimeters. Here we have 33 by 44 millimeters, a much larger the sensor. And let us take a look how it looks, and I will show you how it looks. And we can swap the different sizes in the camera. You can crop the camera, but you don't need the 100 megapixel medium format to work with a 35 millimeter sensor, which you can do. Okay, so there will be no hassle, but then we shouldn't talk about it. So in 4x3 you see we have a strong vignetting, which goes much smaller when we put away the sun hood. And I'll get mine away. Here you see it. Okay, you have it. Huh? If we go a little bit smaller, 3x2, then I think it's for a lot of pictures it will be okay. Huh? And if we go to video, 60x9, that's the format you are seeing now, this video. This is even better, and when we go to 1:1, though in a square format, I think it's cool. And to show you the effect of the lens, I will do me as the model, and here you see it. You have a very, very shallow depth of field. Oh, my dog comes to me. So here we go. So here's a cool model. Yep. And we have now the effect of a 35 millimeter lens with a very, very shallow depth of field. So looking cool, this lens. Yeah. How do you find it? Lucky? Yeah, it's okay? Great. So going back to the presentation, we have here also a very interesting lens. But when we adapt the lens to other cameras like the GFX, we have also different adapters. Here I have the NovoFlex adapter, but for other cameras we have a lot of close focus adapters, helicoid adapters, where you add an additional possibility to go closer with the camera. And I have here another camera where we can take a look at. This is a Sony camera, and these close focus adapters work this way. So you have an additional length where you can put it. So it adds to your possibility to go closer with the camera. So when we add this to the lens, we not only can go to 90 centimeters, but we can go closer. And how close we get, I will show you in a minute. I have to prepare something, so we make a little speed up and time lapse. So here we go, and I will show you how this looks. And let's see how close we can get. And this is much less than 90 centimeters or 3 feet. And you can see how shallow the depth of field is. And I go down a little bit. So with the lens totally open, we have nearly no depth of field. And it's kind of 1 centimeter. Yeah. So I think here it's now sharp. And let's check how close we are. And it's, I show you with the other camera, and it's kind of 43 millimeters to the sensor, and to the lens kind of 34. Yeah, so really, really close you can get. You've seen the picture here. Yeah, so it's very, very close and in a fantastic quality. In a fantastic quality and a fantastic look. Very, very shallow depth of field. Really, really cool how this looks. And for this you just need such a close focus adapter, which you can use for most of the cameras. Yeah? So very, very interesting lens. Just take a look at your photo dealers and watch out for new footage which we will produce with this camera and the lens. And to show you one additional thing, everybody of you wants to take a look at the bokeh which we can make, and I told you that we have a very, very special bokeh. I made here a photographer's tree, yeah? Photographer Christmas tree C-stand with some lights on it, and I will go down a little bit. So you see here, very, very nice bokeh. And when you get to the, here you see it, to the corners of the picture, we change from round, and very nice round, nearly no onion rings, really, really nice. We change from round to onion rings. Cat eye. Huh? So really, really nice, a very, very nice character. I can't wait to shoot videos with this lens to have a feeling for the character of the lens. So very, very nice, very, very shallow depth of field. You can see it here. Here it is sharp, but this is kind of a portrait distance, and here's how it looks. And that's how boring it really looks. Yeah. So really, really nice. Very interesting lens. Very interesting possibilities with this lens. The Voigtländer Nokton 50mm f1.0 aspherical with a Leica M mount, but adaptable to nearly every camera on the planet, which is mirrorless. Bye bye till next time.